Hi, Katie. Nice to see you.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, just gonna admit all here.
Hey,
Hi, welcome. Better late than never, right?
Yeah,
Thanks
that's
for
right.
letting us pop in. Awesome.
Was
Yeah.
there stuff to do prior to this? Okay,
Tonight is really just gonna be like an intro email or
okay, sounds good.
my brain, an intro discussion
We gotcha.
to get you guys on track. So you are good. And we've got maybe 3 more people that may sign on. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes. And as we do that, I know you probably all are accustomed to Zoom now. But just so you know, I'm gonna mute you if there's like background noise. And then we love to see your faces, but because of the timing of this class, if you're like putting kids to bed or eating dinner or whatever, and you don't want people watching you, it's fine. You can listen or just talk without your video if you want, but generally we like that. Okay. 7. Okay. I know one person's not coming, and there's 2 other people that may pop on. Well, welcome. This is recording. So I'll be sending out the recordings of these meetings probably tomorrow morning, probably on Thursday mornings. But let's go ahead and get started. So I'm Dr. Sarah Heron, and we've got Dr. Kate Blankshane joining me for this Start a PT Practice 101 course. So what we're going to do tonight is just a brief intro. We'd like to know who you are, where you're at in this journey. You know, are you already starting, or is this like a pipe dream down the line? Where are we at? And something that you'd like to get out of this course. So kind of like, what was the catalyst to you finally signing up for a course like this? So I'll start. Like I said, my name's Sarah. I live in Seattle, Washington, and own Aero Physical Therapy, which is a cash practice that focuses on CrossFit athletes, hip impingement, and dance athletes. But we see a little of everything. And what else? I think that's all that I need to say about myself. Let's do the intros, and then we'll come back around and talk about the structure of the course. But I think it'll be good for you guys to all get to know kind of who else is in here. So I'll pass the mic to Kate for a brief intro, and then we'll call on you to let us know who you are.
I'm Kate, so I'm just outside Chicago. I started Rally PT about 3 years ago now, 3.5. And I graduated from PT school in 2016 from Northwestern. So I started about 1.5 years after I graduated. So I have 2 clinics now, 2 employees, and we are a hybrid practice. So we accept 1 insurance contract, and then everything else is cash.
Cool. All right. Well, and just to give you guys a piece of information, I was like almost 10 years out when I started Aero. So there's going to be like a spectrum of people. Okay. So you'll get a good mix of information from both Kate and myself. All right. So I'm going to just start in my left upper corner, which is Katie. So Katie, will you just give us the rundown on who you are and what you're all about?
Sure. My name's Katie. I am a physical therapist. I live in Monroe, Michigan, which is between Detroit, Michigan and Toledo, Ohio. I graduated in 2014 from the University of Michigan, and I have done some cash PT on and off over the last probably 5 years or so. My husband owns a CrossFit gym, so I've done a little bit out of his gym, but now he and I are both ready to take the jump and try to get me into the gym working full time, doing either cash practice or hybrid practice. So now we want to really jump on that. I am a women's health physical therapist as well as working with CrossFit athletes and specializing in pregnancy and postpartum. So a very niche population that I want to take advantage of working with it in my area.
Awesome. What are you hoping to learn in this course, or what's one thing that you're like really hoping we touch on?
Well, I'm really hoping to learn about like how to go about deciding doing a cash model versus a hybrid model and all that would entail to take on like a hybrid model. Obviously, patients are going to want more of a hybrid model so they can use their insurance, but just from what I've seen as working as an employee in other clinics, that insurance is a giant headache. And so I want to keep this as minimizing the stress for me as possible while also serving my patients and my community.
Great. That's awesome. Okay, cool. I'm going to skip over to Nick and Anna. These guys signed up about 4 hours ago.
Right.
We did. My name's Anna. I graduated physical therapy school in 2016 from University of Montana. We're in Bozeman, Montana. We have been kind of trying to target more of like the CrossFit, and then there's another kind of gym out here that's CrossFit-esque population with, and we are currently both working at an outpatient, just like a general outpatient physical therapy practice. And we kind of just want to go off onto our own and be able to do more of either kind of like a hybrid or a cash pay model, and just be able to target the population that we want to and not have to kind of go with the standards and requirements of our other outpatient PT practice and go solo.
I'm Nick. I graduated from U of M in 2015, so we both went to school there. I think the biggest thing is, like she was talking about, we've been seeing more of the CrossFit athletes. Now that we've been going to that gym, we're also going to another, sort of quote unquote functional fitness gym to try to get to know both of those crowds. And we've already had a lot of those people, both coaches and owners, that were patients. So I feel like we're starting to develop those relationships and have a lot of success with those people. So we're getting more referrals from them. And I think we're getting to that point where I think we're kind of seeing that this could be something that we could do, and just not have really the constraints of the typical cash or the typical like insurance-based practice that we're in right now, where we're not really seeing high volume compared to some other states. Like, maximum in a day for us would be probably 13, which I know isn't insane. And we're still all one-on-one, but I think if we could cut that down to, less people a day, give them full hour treatments, and just be able to deliver a little bit better treatment is ultimately what we're after.
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. So what do you think you can get out of this course specifically that we want to make sure that we're touching on?
So I think one of the biggest things is to how, I think targeting those populations and making sure that you're continuing to see those people, because it's one thing to see, treat a coach for 2 sessions and then they feel pretty good, but how do we keep that referral basis going and make sure that we're keeping a caseload and not just seeing somebody for a week, and making sure that we have a steady referral source there.
And kind of what Katie touched on too, trying to figure out whether we are kind of torn between like all cash or hybrid in that sense, because there are quite a few people in Bozeman that do have good insurance that want to use it. But then same thing, like how much of a pain is it going to be to try that? Because there's also a lot of people here that have enough money that they would pay cash pay too.
Yeah.
So
just determining when that's appropriate, or, when to decide, like, do we take a little bit of the hybrid, or do we just go full cash and don't look back? So I guess just trying to decide what's the right answer for that.
Good. Yeah, we will get into all of that because that is a little bit unique to our course. And obviously Kate has experience with that. All right, thank you. And you guys are planning on opening a practice together. That's the goal in being there.
Well, so ultimately we'd both open that together, which would be the challenge of, starting 2 caseloads versus just 1.
right.
So there's an extra challenge, but
2 heads, put them.
that's right.
Okay, cool. All right. Caitlin, you've just wet your palate and now you're ready. to let us know who you are.
Yeah, hi, I'm Caitlin. I live in Charleston, South Carolina. I've been out of school just about 2 years now. I worked in a traditional outpatient orthopedic up until 2 weeks ago when I had put in my notice. I was going to be working in a cash-based clinic out of a CrossFit gym, and kind of last second, my friend decided he couldn't afford to hire a second PT, so he was going to be kind of doing 2 locations at once for himself. Um, but I just started a part-time job, so got something at least going to tide me over. And so I'm looking to get some information about how I might want to start my own clinic here. I also am a little bit in a unique situation where my boyfriend's in the Air Force, and so we are expecting a move in a year and a half. And so or I guess a little bit less than that, almost a year now. So how do I navigate either trying to start a little bit of something here and then preparing to move it, or just waiting until we get to our new location?
That's cool. All right, good. So where are you at in this journey in terms of like, what's one of the big things that you'll be looking for in this course?
I am not sure. I feel like right now, like in Charleston, honestly, we have a lot of CrossFit cash-based clinics, and so I think I need to work on figuring out my specific niche to be able to compete with anybody here, and just kind of pretty general of like, how do I do it myself?
Yeah. So figuring out a niche. I'm just taking notes on you guys. Okay, cool. Thank you, Caitlin. All right, Lauren, hi.
Hi. Can you guys hear me?
Hmm.
Okay. I am in Chicago. I am escaping a large corporate entity. I am an endurance therapist, have been for 12 years, and for endurance specialty, and lymphedema therapy as well. And yeah, I'm gonna throw myself right in the middle of this hybrid model action. I really want to be a community therapist. That's what I've always been. That's been my goal in life. I enjoy where I work, the location, the people. And I just want to be able to treat whatever walks through the door. So what I want to get out of this is all of it, because I'm going for it. So just organization, wrapping my brain around all of it, because I've been very dependent on an office coordinator and a corporate structure to take care of a lot of things. So here we go.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, Mary Kate, you're up.
Hey guys, I'm Mary Kate. I graduated PT school in 2017 from Stockton University in New Jersey. Still living near the Jersey Shore. I've been in an outpatient ortho clinic, multidisciplinary. So a lot of my referrals come from Kairos because it's a Chiro-owned company. And ideally, I really just want to work with overhead athletes, including CrossFit athletes. Specifically, I'd like to start with softball because I feel like they're kind of underserved. It's mainly baseball. What I want to learn from this course is I literally have no idea how to do anything business related. So this is kind of like my stepping stone onto how to build this in the future.
Awesome. Thank you. And we're going to encourage you guys to be really vulnerable about that, because the more that we know that you need, the more we can give you, right? Kind of like your patients, right? Like treat them as if they don't know what you're talking about. But we don't want to skim over things too much. Okay, Andrea.
Yeah, hey everyone. I graduated in 2013, also from Northwestern, so just missed you, Kate. I have a couple of different specialties. I have an ortho specialty, a manual therapy one. So clinically, I work with like a lot of heavy manual therapy, spine, ortho patients. but like I would say my passion is definitely like with the CrossFit population, particularly pregnancy postpartum. Even though I don't have like a ton of training in pregnancy and postpartum. So I guess I'm having a hard time like kind of niching down where I want to go. I'm in Cincinnati, and Cincinnati has kind of a pretty well-known CrossFit geared PT clinic. So I don't know how much they're dominating the market right now. So doing definitely need some help with like market analysis and that kind of thing. But yeah, this is really like my first step on this journey. So something my husband's been pushing me for a long time to do, but it's something that like me as a risk management person has been pretty nervous about. So just any help along the way is really, really, really helpful.
Great. Awesome. All right, Christine, are you able to chime in here? Oh, there she is.
Sorry, I'm eating dinner.
It's fine.
My dog also might bark, so sorry about that. I am a PT in rural Colorado. I'm in an outpatient clinic. I've been there for 5.5 years now. Love it, but a lot of friends on the side that do like CrossFit and stuff, and they want stuff outside of the clinic and not having to go in to see their doctor to get a script, because being hospital based, we require a script from the doc. And so kind of just starting from scratch. I have no idea what I'm getting into. And so just want to kind of soak up everything I can.
Okay, cool. Yay. Well, this is a good group. You guys have some similar interests, which is neat. And so we'll want to be bouncing ideas off of each other quite a bit. How did you guys find this class? We're always curious because we're trying to grow in this space.
We have done quite a few courses through ICE.
Okay. Yeah.
So we found it through that.
Everybody's kind of nodding.
Same.
Okay. Katie, I already knew you. Katie and I met in Seattle at a Con Ed course, like right before I started Aero.
Yeah, that was 4 years ago because I was very pregnant at the time as well too.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Well, thank you guys. The way that this is going to work is on Thursday mornings, you're going to get an email with a link to our course for that week. And it'll have in it pre-recorded lectures. So you're going to listen to those lectures. There's lots of supplemental material each week that is optional. I mean, there's no exams or anything, but this is just like all the material that we think that you should have. And then there will be homework. We are going to create private Google Doc folders for each of you individually that you share with Kate and I. So they're not going to be shared as a class, though we will talk about that stuff in the meetings, and we might call on people if they feel comfortable, like talking about what we read in their homework. But that way, it'll just be available to you after the class too. And the goal with the homework is that you're answering questions or developing content or brainstorming, kind of workshopping through things that you need to do in order to start your practice, but it's very hard to get yourself to do that stuff sometimes, right? You're like, I know I need to do all of this and it's overwhelming me, and then you just don't do it. So that's really the goal. Like I said, there's no exams or anything, but our goal is that at the end of 8 weeks, you feel at least solid enough that you know what direction you want to go in terms of, is this a viable option for me? Do I want to do hybrid? Do I want to do cash? What's my niche? How do I get to them? All that stuff. Okay. And then, so on Wednesday mornings, we'll send you, the Zoom link is always going to be this link. So if you lose it, just go back to the email that we sent you, the welcome email, and it's always going to be that one. Caveat, next Wednesday, it's going to be 1 hour earlier. Okay, so, but we'll remind you of that. And then on Thursday mornings, I'll send the recording out so that anybody who missed the meeting gets to see what we talked about, and then we'll send the next week's material. Okay, I'm gonna just throw this out here now. We really would appreciate if you don't share that material with other people. The only way we can share it with you is to give you the password to it, right? And we have no way to control if you go out and do that yourself. But as future entrepreneurs, you can appreciate why that is problematic. So thank you for keeping that to yourself. Okay, Kate, anything that you want to touch on?
With the Google Doc, you have your individual Google Doc, but we'll also make a shared document. So as you're going through the material, if you have questions, comments, things you want us to bring up in the next meeting, that's the place to write those. So we'll look at that before the meeting so we can plan what we're going to talk about. We used to do it in a Facebook group, but things just got lost and it got confusing. So now everything is in one spot in that Google Doc. So if there's something, even if you want to like copy something from your own homework and put it in there, like that's just for you to share with other people in this course. And then for you to just ask questions so we know what you want to talk about in the next meeting too.
Yeah, exactly. So we've structured this course that it really could be self-study, right? But the meetings are for you. So we'll facilitate conversation as much as we can, but come to the table with what you want to talk about. Because it's always different and everybody's scenario is so individual that we just want to make it really tailored to what you guys need. Well, does anybody have any questions or, oh, Kate, did you have something to say? Your yellow box went on, so I got confused. Yeah, questions, comments, concerns, smart remarks. Okay, cool. Well, we will release you then. Dig into the material. We'll send it out tomorrow morning. Let us know if you have problems accessing anything. Otherwise, we will see you next Wednesday, 1 hour earlier, but then we'll be back on track. Okay, you guys aren't bugging us, so just email us or Google Doc. Okay, all right. Have a great evening, you guys.